Hello everyone, my name is Afreen Rahman, and for this today's session I have a very interesting question to ask all of you. Are you from armed forces background, and let's say you're thinking about upskilling, or maybe you're thinking about transitioning into a corporate world, and you want to understand, or in fact I'd rather say you want to armor yourself, for the future this industry holds for you. And I'm sure there must be a lot of doubts and questions how to exactly transition or how to exactly upskill once you're working in Indian forces, right? So Indian Army. Now today we have a very special guest with us. We have Colonel Rahul Doegar with us. Hello, Mr. Rahul.
Hello,
How are you
Afreen.
doing?
I'm doing great.
It's lovely to have you here. Well, Colonel Rahul Doegar is, handles end-to-end strategic plannings and procurement projects in Indian Army, and he is going to tell us everything that he knows in terms of upskilling and, in fact, even helping us transition everyone who comes from the Indian Army backgrounds to, a corporate world. So, welcome, Mr. Rahul, once again, and lovely to have you here on the show today.
Thank you, and thanks a lot for having me here and sharing my views. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely a joy. So let's get into this interview right away, Mr. Rahul. And I would want to ask you, your background that you come from, like what exactly got you interested into Indian Army, and what your roles that you have played here. Tell us something about that.
Yeah. So I am a serving colonel in the Indian Army, who is wanting to transition to the corporate.
Okay.
About my journey, I joined the National Defense Academy in June 1998. That was about 23 years plus ago.
Okay.
And thereafter, after getting commissioned into the Regiment of Artillery, that is Gunners, I have also been fortunate enough to represent the Indian Army in a foreign United Nations missions in war-torn Syria. So when I decided on this transition about 1.5 years ago, notwithstanding my skills and experience, I realized that there was a requirement to upskill myself to make my experience and skills a little more acceptable and amenable in the corporate. So that's where my community helped me. There are a lot of mentors who helped me.
Yeah.
So in the last about 1.5 years, I have acquired some certifications like project management certification.
So what exactly led you towards data science or pursuing data science, considering somewhere transition or upskilling yourself? Yeah. Let me know your views on that.
Yeah. So like I said, you see, I am a gunner basically. And in our careers, right from the beginning, gunners always get into the details, in the sense that when we fire a rocket or a gun, the place where it is intended to be fired or intended to land, and where it actually lands depends on a lot of factors. So we refer to a document which is called a range table, which actually predicts, in a way it predicts that where should a round land, at what range, at what bearing, if it is fired with this terminal velocity, and these are the wind conditions, the temperature, air temperature, and humidity and such like conditions. So after doing this course, I realized, although that is in hindsight, that and when I consulted few people, they told me that even that range table is nothing but a regression problem. It's a regression algorithm which actually generates that, So data has been, kind of self. I've been a little, obsessed with data, and data has been my fascination. So it was a natural.
It's also been part of the journey, I believe.
Yes.
Even in working on data, right?
Absolutely. And you would know it better than me that data science, data analytics, and machine learning and AI have perpetrated every function of the corporate, and it is only a matter of time. Sometimes we are using it without even knowing it, and it's only a matter of time that it will perpetrate each and every aspect of our life. So to that end also, what actually happens in the background, what all are the kind of algorithms which are there working in the backdrop is a very fascinating subject to study.
So that's great. So now that you got into the data science world and you've started studying all about data science, machine learning, and AI, what were the challenges that you faced? Coming from a different background and then shifting into data science. So while learning, what were the challenges that you have faced, and how were you able to overcome those challenges?
Yeah. So, while I say that yes, one had been dealing with data, but the framework of actually when you start studying the data science and machine learning requires the basic knowledge of statistics. One had left statistics long
Exactly.
ago when
Yeah,
one was,
I know.
studying in your 10th and 12th, and that is
Yes.
also basics of statistics.
Basics of statistics.
But to
Yes.
draw real insights from the algorithms and whatever data science and machine learning, it was very important to have a strong grip on statistics. You see, so that is when of course, the program touched upon a lot of aspects of statistics, but then I started reading more and more about it.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
after all, the program can only guide you in a certain direction. It is
Yes.
ultimately,
There's a lot of self preparation at our end,
absolutely, there
right?
is a lot of, unless and until you, put in an equal amount of effort, it is only a little bit of difference that the program itself can make. So it is your own individual effort, apart from what the
Yes.
instructor is trying to teach you, it will make a lot of difference. So I learnt a little bit, read couple of books on. So that is one thing which has been very, very satisfying, because it has a lot of applications, not only in data science but also in certain operational management aspects which are there in the corporate.
Yes.
Also, one was not from a coding background, but
Yes, that's another
yeah,
challenge.
so coding was again a very alien subject. I am not from a technical background, and one had learnt programming way back when it was, DOS and BASIC. I had not done coding after that. So naturally, there were a lot of apprehensions. Coding is just a small part of it.
Yes.
You have to understand the underlying theory and the, connects, wherein the real beauty of data science and machine learning lies.
And I
So,
think this is where most of the people give up. They get so traumatized, I would rather say, with the codes and those lines that
yes,
they really
yes,
do fail to understand, like you said, the underlying, I would say, motive of
yes,
learning data science or getting into machine learning. It's much more than just codes and learning. And I think
absolutely,
with little bit of efforts from our own end, we'll be able to figure that out. It's a little bit of
absolutely.
a challenge, but that can. So now that you have upskill yourself, let's say, and you've gotten so many certifications, what is the transition looking like? Like, which field in corporate would you want to transition where you feel this kind of learning and your education with Insaid can help you, in data science can help you?
Yeah. So the core of my roles that I would be seeking would be in the operational domain and the project management domain. But as I brought out, AI machine learning is there in each and every function, whether it is marketing, whether it is HRM, whether it is operations, project management.
Now, could you let us know what are some of the positives that you found in our program that could be helpful in other people who are listening to this, watching this video, and they would find it helpful?
Throughout my career, data has been, I have been a little more attracted towards data and how analysis of data leads to better decision making.
All
So
right.
while I was discussing it with my peers who were also on the similar path, somebody
Yeah.
suggested, why don't you get into this data analytics, machine learning, and AI? And he also recommended Insaid. And I read about the institute. I got a lot of positive feedback from few of my course mates and people I knew who had undergone programs from Insaid, and they were all praised for the program. And therefore, I enrolled for this program. This was way back in October 2020. So I have been, it's been more than 1 year of learning, and it's
All
been
right.
a tremendous journey. Then the pace of the learning is not, is very, very, I would say it is ideally paced.
All right.
And the structure is, I think, ideal. You see, the first brushing up of the programming aspects, then statistical aspects, then coming on to the machine algorithms one by one, and the sequence in which the whole program, wherein the first two basic classification and regression algorithms are explained. It's been a tremendous journey. It's a learning experience of a lifetime.
So, wonderful, Rahul, to have you here with us. Very, very insightful pointers that you have shared with us, not only about the program, but also about your background. And loved the bit where you were talking about gunners and the data and, how everything is getting correlated and all challenges that you faced, and you were able to overcome that, just by focusing and, I think having that bullseye view of what you want to achieve. So, it was a pleasure having you. Thank you so much for being part, of the series, and I'm sure this will help a lot of people who are willing to transition, from their backgrounds to corporate world, help with all your insights that you've given. So, thank you.
Thank you so much, Afreen, and thank you, Insaid.